So members from Battered Women's Support Services as well as Surrey Women's Centre have gathered today in front of two locations, the Coquitlam City Hall and RCMP, as well as 152nd and 100th in Surrey, to honor a young woman who was killed by her partner, most likely, Stephanie Forster, on December 9th, while she had a protection order in place from the Provincial Family Court. And also to hold the state accountable and to call out the fact that protection orders are not keeping women safe from abusers. I think right now violence against women and intimate partner violence is one of the most pressing issues in our country, and each of us need to be acting in a sense of urgency to address violence against women and girls, because we can't lose one more woman or girl. I think the police routinely fail when it comes to issues of violence against women and girls in regards to charges, in regards to holding abusers accountable. The systems were built to protect men and not necessarily to protect women. What we know is that Stephanie Forster was being continually harassed by her husband, that she had gone to the provincial court and sought a protection order, and that he breached that protection order in October, and that the police released him knowing that he is a long-term criminal with a lengthy criminal record, and that he posed a risk not only to her, but to other women in the community as well. I think the systems in general, so the court and police, have a level of responsibility in this case as well as other cases of violence against women and girls.
My name is Carmen Macker. I'm a victim support worker at Surrey Women's Centre. I'm here today because she could have been anyone. She could have been anyone I know. She could have been me. I'm here today because there are too many women that are unsafe and nobody protects them, and we're here for them, and we're here to take a stand for them.
As a victim support worker, I'm standing here in this lady's honor. She had a protection order, which is an order that is supposed to protect you from a lot of women get them against their partners who have been violent to them in the past. This lady was unfortunately failed by the law. Happens way too often where offenders breach their protection orders and there's zero to no or zero to very minimal police response. They don't respond quick enough, they don't get back to the people quick enough, and unfortunately sometimes it ends up in a murder, as it did with this lady. It happens way too often. We need to bring more awareness to it, and police response, justice response in general, needs to be much more advanced, much more on top of it, so that these protection orders actually do what they're supposed to do and ensure their safety.
Hi, I'm Amy from Surrey Women's Centre. I'm a court victim support worker. I'm here today to stand in solidarity with all the women who have been murdered by their abusive husbands, because the law and the criminal justice system haven't been able to protect them enough. Unfortunately, this is something that I see all too much with the clients that I work with, just having so many breaches, even when they have a no contact order, a protection order against the accused, and the police seem to not do anything about these breaches. Time and time again, so much responsibility is put on the victims to protect themselves, to be hyper vigilant, to not go certain routes, and to change their lifestyles in order to avoid being harmed, to being murdered potentially. And not enough is done to restrict the abuser. Not enough is done to make sure that the abuser doesn't keep reoffending, that he doesn't keep breaching. And you know, in this case, of course, we see a woman who has been murdered by her husband, and her husband who had breached the orders, and that the police were aware of, and they weren't able to do anything about it because they treated the situation in such a cavalier way. And it just shows how broken our system is and how we need to do so much more in order to protect these women, because they live in fear every day and we need to help them.
Hi everyone, my name is Tara Whitley. I come from the Anishinaabe First Nation from Ontario. We're here standing at the corner of 152 and 100 where sadly another life was lost regardless of circumstances. We're here today to bring awareness to the situation, to situations that happen often about spousal abuse. You know, a young woman, a photographer, she was murdered by her ex-partner, and the police did nothing about it, despite the fact there being a protection order in place.